Welcome to Conflict of Interest. I'm Peter Farris and this is Greg Barnes. The Olympic Games are over and we want to talk about where does that leave China. I downloaded and watched the opening ceremony in high definition. It was absolutely magnificent and I'm not surprised because it was created by my favourite film director and the best in the world, Zhang Yimou. So at least the Chinese got it right there, and I'd be surprised if it's ever surpassed. But if you watch it closely, and it's certainly worth a close look, it says a lot about China. It was a presentation by China as to how they see themselves today in today's world. And the thing that was impressive was the massive historical scope of it. They are an incredibly proud nation and they have every reason to be proud of their history. And it shows a wonderful unifying, xenophobic, in the positive sense, effect of the Chinese. So let me deal with 4 reasons why I very strongly support China. Firstly, they have it together. They are China, they're very proud of their country, they're very nationalistic, and they're not going to lose any of it. And I think that's very important in this world today. Secondly, there's no doubt in my mind that they are becoming a capitalist country. They are moving towards capitalism, and communism will only survive superficially. They've seen the benefits of capitalism and they're moving towards it. There's no question, again in my mind, that in a number of decades they will surpass America as the major capitalist country. Thirdly, I don't see them as an aggressive country. They're not like Russia, they're not like the Islamic countries, they're not trying to start wars. They are concerned about their own people and their own country, and of course that's good for Australia. Fourthly, I think all this human rights complaint about China are absolute nonsense. They're governing a country of 1.3 billion people. It's very difficult to do. If people choose to break the rules, well then they pay the price. The issue of Tibet, of course, fell away completely after the negative greenie and protesting types were unable to wreck the movement of the Olympic flame. And you only had to see the Olympic flame come into the stadium and them lighting it to see how proud the Chinese were. I'm very, very happy with where China is and where we are with relation to China. Greg?
Well, I'm not surprised to see you falling in behind the authoritarians because human rights aren't ever big on your agenda. But look, you know, there are a couple of things you said there which are sensible, but there are a couple of things which, honestly, Peter, are just comedic. I mean, to suggest, for example, that Tibet doesn't matter and that those who protest about Tibet are simply people who are out of touch. Hang on, simply people who are out of touch and they're greenies or whatever they are, is just absurd. China has made great progress in the lead up to the Olympics and in fact over the last couple of decades. But there is no doubt this is still a nation that executes far too many people. We saw last week the story in the Australian papers of the 2 pensioners in their 70s who've been sent off to a re-education camp because they've been complaining.
They're running their country the way they think it should be run.
Because they have complained about what happened to their homes in Beijing.
Why don't you have a look at the Aboriginals in your country and see how they're treated?
But we live in, the big difference is we live in a democracy and we have choice.
You can't have a democracy of 1.3 billion people.
Well, ask the Indians. They've got 1 billion people. They've got 1 billion people, and for all its faults,
because it's a
democratic
the British
system. It's a democratic system.
It's entirely different.
But let me just go back a point. You mentioned xenophobia in the positive sense. Xenophobia is never positive.
Yes,
xenophobia means
is the exclusion of foreigners.
Xenophobia means just a minute. Xenophobia means, hang on, let's not talk over each other. Xenophobia means only one thing: paranoia.
It does not mean paranoia.
Hang on, Peter.
It doesn't mean that at all.
Hang on. You've had your go. It means paranoia. It means paranoia about the rest of the world. Now, the one thing China doesn't want to do, and I'm sure that the intelligentsia in China see it this way, and when we get our guest on tonight, we'll ask him about it. It's fundamentally important for China to become more and more open with the Western world,
which they are.
Which they are. So I don't see this sense of xenophobia that you see. I mean, in some respects it's there, but it's certainly the sort of territorial claims that the Russians are making, that we talked about last week, are not being made by China.
And never will be. It's not the way they go.
Let's just go.
Well, let me say this on Tibet. Tibet's 60 years ago. Tibet is China. Move on. That's it.
I'm no fan of the Dalai Lama. I think the Dalai Lama is a fraud. But
yeah.
but people have the right to protest.
China are not going to give up Tibet.
But that's not the point.
Forget
That's
it.
not the point. It's a question of whether or not you give people some limited autonomy, as, for example, is allowed in
Well, that's a matter
in Hong
for the
Kong.
Chinese government.
Well,
I mean, should we give the Aboriginals limited autonomy?
well, that is in a sense a different issue. This is a country. Tibet was a separate, in effect, a separate country.
China says it was always part of their sphere of influence.
And the Chinese and the Chinese are entitled, as they have done for the last 40 or 50 years,
nobody gives a stuff about Tibet.
Just to hang on
the left-wing
hang on to work with the Tibetan people, but certainly not to do what they did in the lead up to the Olympic Games, and that is effectively bludgeon people into submission. It's appalling.
Because the Tibetans, supported by Western people like you, decided they were going to try and use spoil and upset the Olympic Games by demonstrating that.
I bet you there were people in the lead up to the 1936 Olympics, some of the Jewish community, who would have been very grateful to have been able to have the modern media to support their protest against the Nazi regime.
We're not talking about that.
I mean, so what? People use the Olympic Games to get a spotlight onto their issue. What's the problem with that?
Well, because it was counterproductive for them, because China was always going to squash it. And also, I think it was incredibly insulting to their own country, and the Tibetans' country is China. I think they had.
I just find you extraordinary.
They're Chinese.
I just find you extraordinary sometimes. I mean, come onto this program some nights and you're very rational. That is the most irrational outburst you've put on this season.
Tibet is part of China.
It's the most irrational outburst.
Don't you understand that?
I do. Look, let's talk about it with our guest, Professor Bruce Jacobs, who's Professor of Asian Languages and Studies from Monash University. He's our guest coming up next on Conflict of Interest.